10 people, right? So this is 10 Americans, I'm sorry to say, 10 Western Americans from Idaho who are Baptist missionaries, and they were arrested at the border between Haiti and the Dominican Republic with a large number of children in tow, right? And this is, the reason for their arrest is that these children had no documentation and were not among the children who have received expedited visas because their adoptions were already in progress before the earthquake in Haiti, right? These children did not have adoptions in progress and were therefore considered not to be removed from the country. And this is effectively, or can certainly appear to be, the smuggling of children, child trafficking, however you want to characterize it. So what does a story like this suggest, or what can it suggest? I think it suggests two things. On the first hand, it suggests a lack of respect for the rule of law in Haiti by outsiders. Right? So the leader of the group told the AP from the jail where she was being held that she hadn't been following news reports in Haiti, and this is a quote, "and I didn't think I needed Haitian permission to take the children out of the country." Right? So the children are there simply for the taking, and there's no doubt that there are many orphan children in Haiti right now who need help, who may eventually be removed from the country, who may eventually be adopted somewhere else, but it's quite a leap to take it upon oneself to remove the children without any kind of official recommendation or documentation. The other thing that I think this story suggests is a lack of respect by outsiders for Haitian culture and religion. Right? So the group states officially, this group that was trying to remove the children from Haiti, quote, "One of the reasons that our church wanted to help is because we believed that Christ had asked us to take the gospel of Jesus Christ to the whole world, and that includes children," end quote. So it's one thing to take the gospel of Jesus Christ to the whole world, including children, and I think reasonable people can disagree about whether proselytizing to children is appropriate or not. But it's a whole other thing to make the jump to surreptitiously removing the children from their country in order to cut out the competing religion. I mean, this is I believe, one of the subtexts of the statement that they make. And of course, underwriting this boldness on their part is the conviction of some evangelical Christians operating in Haiti that the country's mix of Roman Catholicism and African religions brought with the slaves to the New World, it's commonly known as the term of voodoo, is simply invalid, right? So personally, I find what this group did reprehensible, but that's besides the point. It's not my objective here today to condemn the actions of foreign organizations operating in Haiti right now, since the vast majority of them are doing the very best they can under what are extremely challenging circumstances, as the panelists from the previous panel testified. Right, but the actions of a few, including the group that I just mentioned, and the media accounts of some others, the stories that we're reading on a fairly regular basis, force us to think about how a sometimes willful ignorance of Haiti's political and cultural history seeps into attitudes about its state today, right? Its present state after the earthquake. And I would focus here especially on this really toxic attitude of essentially blaming the victims or making the victims responsible for their particular circumstances. So what I'd like to do in the remainder of this talk is highlight some important moments in Haitian history and, where appropriate, point to current misrepresentations of them in the media stories that we're reading about the earthquake and its aftermath. And I'll leave plenty of time for discussion at the end because, as a historian once put it, quote, "Haiti tempts impassioned representation as well as proprietary impulses," end quote. And I'm sure that many of you want to jump in and ask questions and provide some comments. So you'll excuse me for going way, way back in time, but I think that this context is relevant to understanding what's going on in Haiti today and how we understand Haiti's current state today. Okay, so all the way back to 1492, we could go back even further, but let's not be, wait. So back to 1492, Haiti enters the consciousness of the Western world for the first time, because this is the name that the indigenous population, the Taino Indians,